She trembled, her thoughts racing. What did they just say? That voice, it's the inner administrator? Kill the blessed monk? I have to go, now. I need to warn father. She turned, but her foot scraped against the stone, making a noise. Both men snapped their heads in her direction. She panicked. They saw me. I'm caught. I need to run. She barely managed a few steps before the servant blocked her path. He smiled cruelly. Where are you rushing off to, Lady Sielwa? Did something happen? Without warning, he pulled out a dagger. Well, we were going to kill everyone anyway. He raised the blade. This is goodbye. He thrust. Sielwa screamed. In that moment, a flash of movement, steel meeting steel. The dagger was knocked away, deflected midair. Mujin stood in front of her, eyes blazing as he deflected the dagger with his iron guard technique. You're planning to kill everyone? He said coldly. What an ambitious plan. He leveled his gaze at the assassin. In that case, start with me, if you think you can. Mujin clenched his teeth, sweat pouring down his face. I definitely activated my iron guard, but I still took damage? He thought. He's on a completely different level compared to Hong So-hee. Did he throw a blade in that brief moment just now? The realization hit him hard. If I drop my guard even for a second, I might actually die. This guy, he's a real killer. Despite the fear tightening in his chest, Mujin forced himself to stand tall and turned to the trembling figure behind him. Lady Sielwa, he said, his voice strained but steady. Leave this to me and run. Head straight for Grandmaster Hyungwang. You'll be safe once you're with him. I can't, Sielwa replied, her voice shaking. I'd never abandon you, not like this. But before she could say more, the killer made a subtle movement, reaching for his blade. Mujin's eyes narrowed. In a flash, he dashed forward and kicked the sword's hilt just as it was about to be drawn, slamming it back into its sheath. Keep that sword where it belongs, Mujin growled, following up with a direct kick to the assassin's face. The blow landed hard, sending the killer flying backwards. Go now! Mujin shouted, taking the momentary opening. Still trembling, Sielwa hesitated, but before she could move, her servant arrived at the scene, panting. Without waiting, she grabbed Sielwa's arm and pulled her away. Come quickly! I'm leaving Lady Sielwa to you, Mujin called out. Suddenly, a pulse of murderous intent flared behind him. Mujin spun around just in time to block several flying daggers with iron guard. Sparks danced off his arms, but one blade slipped through and grazed his shoulder, drawing blood. He looked up. The killer was already standing, completely unfazed by the earlier kick. Looks like you're in a rush to cut your own life short, Killer muttered under her breath, clearly rattled. Mujin narrowed his eyes. Not even letting me say goodbye to her properly? That's low, he said, cracking his knuckles with a forced grin. What, is your grand massacre plan not that impressive? If you're raising your sword at a young monk, then maybe you're just a coward. He planted his feet. Try killing me, if you think you can. The killer's eyes sharpened. With a cold voice, he unsheathed his sword. As you wish. It'll hurt, but this was your choice. He slashed forward. Mujin dodged, his body a blur, and launched himself at full speed. The ground beneath him shattered with the force of his step. He appeared before the assassin in a heartbeat and threw a heavy punch, only to strike air. He vanished? Mujin thought in disbelief. The killer reappeared behind him like a phantom. Mujin ducked just in time as a blade whistled past where his neck had been a second ago. He twisted around, teeth clenched in frustration. He's insanely fast, Mujin thought, then launched a series of